Welcome into the I-80 Boys College Football Show. Chris, we've got Indiana taking on Oregon, going on the road to take on the Oregon Ducks at home here, Chris. I'll start off. I'm going to touch on the Indiana Hoosiers. Look, early this year, I made the comment that Indiana wasn't as good as last year. And, a lot of the Indiana fans came on and let us know, no, they're even better. And, then they ended up showing that, no, in fact, they are probably better than what they were last year, which is kind of hard to do considering the fact they made the playoffs. And we're not even talking about like college basketball and all that other stuff. So, yeah, they actually proved me wrong. And I was wrong. And I wanted to say that. Look, they're every bit as good as they were last year, and I think they might even be better this year. Look, that quarterback Mendoza, he's on fire. He's got 18 total touchdowns. They survived last week on the road against Iowa. And here's the thing: you can look at the score and say, well, they didn't go on the road. Nobody travels on the road to play that tough-nosed Iowa team. I don't give a shit if they have 2 yards total. Iowa's always a tough out at home, and they're always tough early in the season when they're still healthy. They survived, and they did what they needed to do. They did what they needed to do, and so for that, I am impressed. Because so many other teams, this would be a trap game for them last week against Iowa, but they figured out a way to win, so hats off to them, right? They also blew the doors off of Illinois, who I still think Illinois is a top 25 team in the country. They may not finish the year there or on the outside looking in, but I still think they're a very good team. We talk about Indiana. They have a 3-headed rushing attack that is legit, right? Aside from that, they've got Omar Cooper, Elijah Surratt. They're legit receiving options. But this Oregon defense is going to be the best that they have gone against yet. I mean, not just stat-wise, but also talent-wise. Okay, on the other side of the ball, Oregon, I don't think they've faced anybody quite like Indiana offensively, right? We know Penn State's pretty talented, but, man, they look like dog shit right now. See the UCLA game, by the way. Look, man, the Hoosiers ranked 5th in total defense, but Dante Moore in this offense, they're gelling right now. Chris is going to talk about it a little bit. To me, it's not that Oregon does anything special on offense. It's that they're more physical than you, and they have better talent. Like, those two things alone, if a lot of like when Ohio State realized, hey, we have the best talent in the country, and we just need to be like physical week in and week out, that's when they started winning consistently. Okay, except against Michigan, but that's a whole different thing. My question is, can Indiana keep pace with that, Oregon physicality out there, Chris? I'm going to turn it over to you, man.
Yeah, Oregon, you touched on 5-0. Last time we saw Oregon was in that double OT game versus Penn State. Hell of a football game. Came down to the wire. Regardless of what you think of Penn State, I know everybody's shitting on them, for the loss to UCLA. It's no easy task to go into Happy Valley and win a night game there. So I got to give major props off to Oregon there. You talked about him. Dante Moore, I like this kid. I said if he goes in and wins that game, which he did, I think he should be talked about a little more as the potential, Heisman candidate. I know it's early. I get all that, but he's played really, really well. He's got over 1,200 yards, 75% completion percentage, 14 touchdowns, just 1 INT. Very nice numbers this season for him. It's kind of a running back by committee over there for Oregon this year. Lemar, Hill, Whittington. I mean, these guys are very capable and good backs. Oregon seems to put out good backs year after year after year. The receivers, Decorian Moore, damn good. Malik Benson, Gary Bryant. These guys are solid receivers. It's Oregon. I don't know what else to say, man. These guys always got speed on the outside, athletic running backs, you name it. Good offensive line play. That's just what they do. On defense, though, very impressed so far. Dan Lanning, as you guys know, I feel like every time we talk about Oregon, Christian, I brag up Dan Lanning. He's my guy, probably my favorite coach in the country. You know this. You get tired of hearing about it. They rank 7th in the country in total defense, 38th in rushing defense, 3rd in passing yards allowed. Very impressive there. And Oregon's got 9 sacks on the year. That puts them at 89th in that category. Christian, I want to ask you here. You covered Indiana. And I think I know the answer, but Kurt Stignetti, right? It's no secret that me and you have harped on this guy and, some of the things he says. But after destroying, Illinois, going on the road, you touched on Iowa. That's no easy place to play. I don't care who the hell you are. What's your thoughts on him? Is he up there as far as good coaches in the country go, right? And I'm talking maybe top 15, top 10, maybe even higher in your opinion.
I would say so. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I would definitely say he is. I mean, to me, he's a top 10 coach just because of what he's been able to do at a program like Indiana, right? I mean, Indiana has been, when you look at it as a whole, they've been okay at football. You know what I mean? But they're more known for basketball. When I say Indiana Hoosiers, what do you think of?
Oh, absolutely, basketball.
You think of
Automatic. Yep.
basketball, right? I mean, they've had good years here and there, but not like this, man. I mean, not like to this degree where they're, actually in this modern age of football, like competing for. I'm not gonna say national championships yet, but like competing with the Ohio States, the Penn States, the Michigans, not this year or whatever, but you know what I'm saying, like the big boys of college football. I mean, they have like he's done what he's needed to do. I mean, he really hasn't over the last 2 years since he's been at Indiana. They haven't really lost anybody they shouldn't have lost to. I mean, last year they lost to what was it, Ohio State and Notre
Yeah.
Dame.
Yeah, it was
I
it. There
mean,
was only 2 losses.
if he loses, and I want to throw that back to you. I mean, we shit on the guy a lot. Don't get me wrong, but it's because of the Brian Kelly effect, where it's like, yeah, just coach ball. We don't need to hear about all this. I don't want to. I mean, I've Googled him so many times over the last few years to make sure we're quoting him right. But God,
Yeah.
don't tell me to Google you. My question to you is, Chris. Obviously, both these teams could lose this game. I feel like it would feel more like a letdown if you're Oregon because the game's at home, all that stuff. But I mean, if he loses this game, does it change your opinion of him realistically, Indiana and Kurt Signetti?
No, one because they opened up as a 10-point dog in this game. I think it's down to a touchdown now. It is in Oregon. I mean, Oregon is a very tough place to play. No, it doesn't. If they lose this game, they're still fine. They still can make a Big Ten title game. If they get blown out, which I would be shocked if that happens. Now, maybe Oregon fans think it's one of these 3-touchdown type of deal wins. No, but it wouldn't change it. And I agree with you. He is a top 10 coach right now. What he's done at Indiana, and I could speak about the Big Ten here. Indiana has never been anything my lifetime in football. They had a couple one-off years where they maybe won 8 or 9 games, but never to this extent, to where they're competing, like you said, with Ohio State, the Michigans of the world, Oregon being over here from the Pac-12. I mean, they've never been this good, and definitely not consecutive years, right? I mean, God, like you said, they beat the shit out of my Huskers last year. I mean, beat the hell out of them by about 45. So their only loss was Ohio State in the regular season. They played Notre Dame. Everybody says Notre Dame, beat the hell out of them. That second half, actually, Indiana played equal with them. They really did. Notre Dame made the Natty last year. So, no, I have been very impressed with Kurt Stinetti. I'm with you, though. Yes, I don't necessarily love him as a person, but that doesn't take anything away from me as what I think of you as a coach. So, with that being said, Christian, I'll jump into my pick here, what everybody's probably been waiting for and why they clicked on the video. Like I said, why Indiana is a really good team, and they are this year. I actually think they're one of the better teams in the Big Ten. I can't go against Oregon here at home. They've won 18 straight at home, by the way. I know you saw your Dogs lose at Athens to Alabama. I get it. It could definitely happen here, but I like Oregon, man. I've been high on them all season. I love what they did a couple weeks ago against Penn State. I really do. I think this game will be close. I do think it'll be closer than probably a touchdown, honestly. I think this comes down to the fourth quarter. I think Indiana can keep up with the physicality factor as well. I really do. Give me the Ducks here, though. I'm going to say the Ducks 30, Indiana 24.
Yeah, very similar sentiments here, Chris. I think it's going to be kind of a low-scoring, boring, good Big Ten game like we always see. I've got like Indiana 21, Oregon 24. I think it'll be a hell of a game.